give us a thumbs up. Well, good afternoon and welcome to our live coverage of this game here on a sunny Saturday afternoon. Royals hosting Gungahlin at Phillip Oval across the road from the hospital here. It is a beautiful afternoon and enjoying it with me is none other than Louise Burrows. Louise, thanks so much for joining me.
Hi Kieran, thanks for having me.
Well, we have a fantastic game ahead of us here for a number of reasons, which we'll dive into. But one of them is that both these teams are fighting for third place on the ladder. We're only 6 rounds into the season, but we are starting to see that top 4 starting to take mould. Royals are your team, Louise, and that's your club. You've played
right.
More than 200 games for them. Before we get into your experience, what's your understanding of how Royal season's going so far?
You know, I think the boys are putting some good combinations together, but due to a few injuries, you know, some weeks it's been a little bit tough to put those combinations together for the boys. And I think, you know, they've been working really hard this week at training on their breakdown with Frank Condy, and hopefully they'll be able to, you know, bring that to the game today. And I think the contest at that breakdown will be really tough against Gungahlin, so that will really play a big part in the game.
Absolutely. We'll get to see that unfold right in front of us here. You can stay in contact with us with the hashtag JID16 as Gungahlin prepare to run onto the field. As we wait for them to get onto the grounds, you can hear the cheering in the background. We'll go through the team lists. For Royals today, hosting Gungahlin, Albert Anais, the number 1 jersey, Connell McInerney, number 2, Joel Penders rounds out the front row in number 3, Michael Copsey comes in to number 4 for the injured Nathan Selwood, number 5 is Anthony Lefavre, number 6, Brendan Woodward today, Dean Paragelli is in at jersey number 7, Steve Sione rounds out the forwards for Royals. In number 9 today at scrum half, Brent Hamlin and Pedro Rolando paired together again after an injury separated them for the last couple of weeks. Ash Vest is in number 11, the 11-year veteran for Royals. Harry Bury at 12, Jason Swain at 13, Sam Ross 14, and number 15 today replacing the skipper in Ben Johnston is Jamie Bodman. A big challenge for Jamie today at number 15 jersey, Louise.
Yeah, I think so, but Jamie's been playing really well, whether he's been, you know, in the centres or on the wing for Royals. So I think, you know, he's really good in the 15 position. So hopefully today he can, you know, step up to the mark and help the boys along.
Absolutely. Let's have a look at the Gungahlin lineup as they prepare to take the kick-off. Royals just running out onto the field at the moment. Gungahlin today, Ray Dobson, Alex Small and Ray's brother Nick Dobson are in the front row. Connor O'Byrne, number 4, Ben McGee, number 5, 6, Chris Coyle, Jake Helgeson is in number 7, JP Finnegatau, number 8, Mitch Ward, number 9, with him is James Lovell at 10, Andy Barrell, Pat Tuidraki, Mitch Connolly at 13, on the other wing is Jamie Cotts and Luke Duffy at number 15. As we get ready for this match of the round, sponsored by Club Lime, we also would like to thank our sponsor Hahn Superdry for making this possible. As we're underway and the kickoff goes high and is knocked on early by Royals, the Gungahlin will get the loose head on this near side. Gungahlin coming off a win last week. Also Royals had a tough win against Uni North. Royals just scored a couple of tries, Uni North the 1 try, and all 3 were in the first 10 minutes of the game. So hopefully we see a less scrappy affair today, Louise.
Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully we can get some continuity going within the backs and, you know, a clean breakdown and see some really nice play out wide.
Absolutely. So that's Mitchell Ward in the number 9 jersey you can see there for Gungahlin, about to feed the scrum. He's a sniping scrum half, so watch out for him just ducking around the forwards today. As it comes out the back for Finnegatau, it's cleaned up by Hamlin. The loose ball gives it back, and that is
Paragali.
That's Paragali.
Yeah,
today.
He's been playing well for seconds and coming on really well for first grade.
Rolando now through hands finds Bury out wide, wanted Bodman, but it hit the ground first, and it's in the hands of the number 11 Ash Vest today, and he goes out. So some quick jumping on the ball there was Brent Hamlin on this side of the field. Hamlin's is well known for his ability to read the game well. and is very impressive around the breakdown. Was able to snatch the ball away there from Royals. And we go through hands now. It's a short ball from Gungahlin as they take it up to the centre of the field in their defensive territory at the moment. O'Byrne now. Ward takes it himself. Little jig from Connolly. Connolly threw it up, but Rolando was there. And Rolando's still going. Over the back, he finds the young Sam Ross. Sam Ross will have the legs to go over the line for the first points in this match in just a few minutes into this match of the round here at Phillip Oval. A fantastic little pounce there from Rolando. Rolando and Hamlin, the two halves for Royals, both pouncing on loose ball early. Rolando's ended up in a try to the young Sam Ross. Good to see him amongst the points, Louise.
Yeah, it's great. He's a great young player, and he's really stepped up this year out on the park for first grade, and he'll be really happy with that, getting some points early for Royals.
Now, the last time we were here doing our Club Lime Match of the Round live broadcast was in round 1 when Royals hosted Queanbeyan. Queanbeyan had the win there, but Ross got his first taste of the year of first grade football, coming in place of Ben Johnston, who had a head knock in that game. Ben's out this week because he had a slight little groin tear as Pedro Rolando's kick is successful. The score 7-0 just a few minutes into this game. Yeah, Ben Johnston, the skipper for Royals, out today. That's a big loss on any given day, and especially for such a tight match fighting for third spot. Yeah,
he's a great leader for Royals. He leads the boys well, and I think, though, the other boys, they'll be able to step up today.
A good test for the back line, that's for sure. So the ball comes back, it finds Steve Sione. Good pick up off the laces. And the ball goes back through Hamlin. And up the left side of the field. Royals running left to right on your screen. That's north to south here at Phillip Oval. As we see at the breakdown, Hamlin finds Swain. Swain doesn't get far before he's taken down. It's Hamlin now again. Bury acting 10. Hits the ground, Royals. Hamlin goes himself. Inside ball is juggled and in the hands of Penders it went backwards, but it hit the turf and pounced on. That was O'Byrne, who took a big hit. Around the legs he was trapped and the top half went the other direction. And Royals come away with a penalty.
Off their feet. Oh, no. In from the side.
And you were talking a bit before, Louise, about how the breakdown is where Royals have been working on. Is that something specifically where they think they can target Gungahlin?
Well, I think, too, the past few games they've been getting penalised a lot at the breakdown, coming in from the side and not coming in that closed gap and being solid at the breakdown. So they've had life member Frank Condi coming down and taking the boys through some breakdown work, and I think hopefully they can take all that on board and work through that in today's game.
Absolutely. This is also I've forgotten to mention so far is Ladies' Day here, and a little bit of festivities going on. There's some free drinks available to ladies down at the northern end of the field. And there's a bit of a gathering there now, which is nice to see.
Yeah, there is. The ladies' game over on Field 2 is just finished up, and so I think a lot of the girls have come over to the tent to join in the celebration of celebrating, women in all facets of the game, whether you're a supporter, a mum, partner, player, being able to celebrate Ladies' Day.
And the ladies, before the Royals ladies having a big win over Gungahlin. Your estimate was plus 80 points. We haven't got a confirmation on that, but it was a big day for Royals as Rolando puts it on the boot and it goes deep into Gungahlin territory. It comes back to Rolando and Sione now taking the run up. That was big hit on Sione. He manages to hold possession though. So Hamlin will have a chance now. Albert Ane getting in there, getting tough on the ball with Alex Small. Now, so a conversation here between the referees. A little bit of aggression at the breakdown, which is good to see on a Saturday afternoon. We'd like to see this passion, and we're expecting a tough game here today. Both teams are without their star Brumbies centres in Lausi Talia-Uli for Royals and James Dargaville for Gungahlin. Both those boys getting a good run for the Brumbies last night in their big win over the Bulls, breaking a 2-game drought, a penalty against Royals. And so Gungahlin will get their first piggyback out of their half. And you were at that game last night,
Yeah, it
Louise?
was good. The ACT team played an internal trial as the curtain raiser. We almost got hit by the ball then.
That was pretty close. The camera dodged a bullet.
And gee, it was good to see the Brumbies get up and play a great game.
Absolutely. They had a tough loss to a massive Crusaders side, and it looked like the Bulls were just as big, but maybe a little bit tired, and Brumbies took their opportunity. So great to see them back on the winners board.
Yeah, it was good.
A line-out throw right in front of us here, and in my assessment, that wasn't straight, but the referee says
that,
okay.
But I thought as a hooker I might be being a bit harsh on him.
As it comes out back, a loose ball again there. That was Brendan Woodward who couldn't pick it up. So it's pounced upon, and Gungahlin with an opportunity to attack. Another penalty, so they'll get momentum here. Gungahlin doing well to apply the pressure to this home side. Royals hosting Gungahlin in the club line match of the round. And Louise, the curtain raiser of the Brumbies game last night was a special one. A bit of a trial match for the ACT women's team.
Yeah, that's right. We had the opportunity to play the curtain raiser with the Brumbies game being ladies round as well. So it was really good to showcase what women's rugby is all about at the moment and where we are at as a rep side. So,
and was it successful?
yeah, it was great. You know, there was really a chance for those girls to show what they're up to and where they're at in the lead up to Nationals at the end of June.
Wonderful. It was a good atmosphere before the game. The crowd, a big stretch from Jason Swain. He nearly had it. He just needed a little bit of sticky tape on his hand, and he might have been under the post. But it came forwards and can go and get out of jail.
And, you know, I think for us girls last night, you know what, we've got a lot of young girls up and coming into the ACT side. So for them to have that opportunity to play out at GIO Stadium, you know, it was fabulous because some people don't get that opportunity. And last night they got to, and I think they really put their best foot forward and, you know, made it difficult for our coach, Tom Binky, to make that selection, those selections leading up to the final cup.
I've never had the opportunity to play any sort of sport in a big arena like that. It would make you step up, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, definitely. To know that there are people there that perhaps haven't even seen women play rugby before, you know, you really want to showcase it the best you can and make people sort of realise that women can play rugby.
Absolutely. I saw some massive hits over there in the Royals Gungahlin game before. As Luke Duffy isn't trapped, he gets another opportunity and takes it with 20 more metres for Gungahlin. It comes back through Fenner-Katau with a big searching pass to Tui Draki. Tui Draki shows and goes and hits the ground. Ward now to bring it out from the breakdown. Royals having to muscle up in defence early on in this game. Gungahlin having a lot of the ascendancy. The ball was meant to be cut out, but he got it on the chin and held it. A knock-on, though. It came down in the ruck. So Royals will get the opportunity to get themselves into an attacking position again. And Louise, you're out due to injury. When do we get to see you back?
Hopefully next week. I'll be playing. We're playing the ACT girls. We're playing a trial match in Sydney against the Sydney side.
Yep.
They're the current Australian champions, and last year we came second at the national championships to them. So, you know, we won't be showcasing everything we've got before the national championships this year, but it'll be good to have a hit out against them. And I'm planning to play about 20 minutes next week, so I can't wait to be back out there on the paddock with the girls and, you know, just being around them. And obviously it's been a while since I've put a big hit on, so I'm looking forward to hopefully having my opportunity.
Have you been able to keep your skills up while you've been injured? Are you doing a bit of
Yeah, I've
training?
been still able to do all my lifting in the gym and cycling and cross training, and I've been back running about 4 weeks now. So I've been progressing back into training, and I've got another full training session tomorrow with the ACT team, and if I get through that okay, then I think I'll get the all clear to keep progressing on from there.
Oh, wonderful. Well, best of luck with that
Thank you.
preparation. As Gungahlin with a strong scrum. And Royals, well, Gungahlin scrum penalised for not keeping straight. So Royals with another opportunity. Big Albert Annes in that front row there for Royals. The only member of both teams to be on a Brumbies contract today. I mentioned earlier that the Gungahlin Brumbies contracted players are out. Although I think I saw Henry Spate lingering on the sideline here. He's always around Gungahlin. He apparently turns up to almost every training despite not playing himself. A real club man for,
that's great.
for a Wallaby.
Tom Staniforth, he's always down at Royals training as well, a bit the same. You know, I don't think we can keep him away from the club and, being around the boys.
And Louise, I imagine you'd have an opinion on this, but I've been talking about this for quite some time now, but there's quite a fantastic thing about club rugby in Canberra in that the connection to the Brumbies, it feels like anyone could have an opportunity because the Brumbies are so integrated in the local competition that you do see them around all the time. It's not some sort of ether that anyone, only the best among us get to go and play. The Brumbies aren't this elitist group. It really is a community atmosphere.
Yeah, no, it's great. And I think for those boys not getting a run every week, they play rugby to play rugby. They don't want to be standing on the sideline watching every week.
Absolutely, with a big run there from Steve Sione, but his offload didn't hit its mark, so it came out the back. And a big run down the sideline from Gungahlin. Loose hands from Fenner-Katau, but he was under pressure from Sione. Bury puts it on the boot. And a good kick. Oh, it's just gone over on the full, so it will come back to where the kick was taken on the halfway line.
Yeah, and some weeks out at the rugby, I see Stephen Larkham out here watching the John Ident Cup, and I think, he's out here checking up on his boys, and, it gives them an opportunity to show where they're at, even though they're not getting minutes for the Brumbies each week. And then that way, they're getting that call up into the Brumbies lineup.
As it looks like your daughter's come up to say hello to us this afternoon. That's
yes,
lovely.
I'm just getting some Mother's Day kisses, perhaps.
Oh, nice. It is Ladies' Day here at Phillip Oval for this clash with Royals and Gungahlin. And a wonderful atmosphere down here. We celebrate Mother's Day tomorrow. Hopefully those of you who are watching don't have to rush away from this broadcast to go and get a Mother's Day present because you're all organised and got it during the week. I know your kids are.
Yes, well, they're pretty fortunate enough. Most school kids these days, the teachers help them out and they make some gifts at school or some homemade cards. And really for me as a mum, they're the special things to get at Mother's Day. They're the things that really mean something and you can look back on in years to come and, have those memories.
What do you have any inclination about what you're getting tomorrow? Have you gone and searched their cupboards in the hope that you might find the present?
No, not sure. It'll be a surprise.
Exciting. Steve Sione runs a good line. He beats 1-2, goes down on the second, and with a good offload. Royals in a strong position now to add to their first try, which came in only the first couple of minutes of today's game. We're just gone 10 minutes in the game as Harry Bury gets a good ball from Rolando, goes down himself. Hamlin back to McInerney. McInerney coming from Vikings last year to play for Royals this year. The ball's gone loose and cleaned up by Copsey. Copsey getting his opportunity to come up from second grade today in the absence of Nathan Selwood. As the ball goes wide, it hits Ross on the chest and it's gone over again. They look like they're going to be attacking that left-hand wing. It obviously had the early success for them. They made one break before they made the points break. Sam Ross getting underneath the post. Is that something that has been worked on, or is that something you would imagine that they're targeting? That left wing there is, I guess, where their speed is. Sam Ross?
Yeah, I guess so. And, it worked for them before, scoring a try over there, catching Gungahlin off guard when Pedro picked up that loose ball. So hopefully, something can come of it again.
Steve Sione with another good run, and they look to go one up again through the forwards, finding Lefavre.
Oh.
It's come loose, though. Bury there to close down the speedster, Jamie Cotts. It goes back. Ward gives it to Lovell. Lovell puts it on the boot. And the fullback, Jamie Bodman, is there. He gives it to Ross. Ross with some space to work with. Left step gives him a metre or two more. And he now has his support.
Yeah, you were talking about Copsey having his chance up in first grade in the second row. Last week he played in the second row in first grade as well, and he'd been playing hooker and prop in second grade. And we're a bit light on in the second row department at Royals. So if there's any second rowers out there looking for a run, come down to Royals.
What about yourself, Louise?
That's somewhere I stay right away from that second row. I admire anyone that can pack into the second row and find it comfortable.
Yeah.
But Copsey, he adds great value to the team, and his work rate around the park is right up there. So it's good that he can have that opportunity, even though he isn't a second rower, to play some first grade rugby.
Well, you do it for the glory, not the comfort. I would imagine in the second row. It wouldn't be somewhere you'd find myself either.
Yeah. No.
Loose ball. Play on, says the referee. Gungahlin crowd not happy about it.
No, they're not happy about that.
They're picking and going now. Royals using their plethora of props and front rowers to keep going. Rolando with a good offload and finds Bury, and he's over. Rolando showing his skill there at the line, past the advantage line, and he was almost mid-air when he made that offload. And from this position, which is not a good position to make this judgment, but I asked whether that might have been forward. Obviously, it was flat enough to Harry Bury, who was in support, and all he had to do was fall over the line. Fantastic effort there from Royals to put the second points on the board here today. Looking very clean this afternoon as they throw the ball through hands, and something that they've been looking to work on, because last weekend I understand was a bit of a mess. Was how one player put it.
Yeah, last week watching the game, it was a difficult game to get into myself as a spectator, because it was quite scrappy at the breakdown, and there wasn't much flow to the game. Where today's game, I'm really enjoying it. I'm in a pretty good spot here in the stands, and I just feel like the flows, well, it's to our advantage, Royals, so perhaps that's why I'm enjoying it a little more.
Yeah, for sure. Well, props to the competition manager, Sam Irwin, for picking this as the match of the round. It's looking the good for us so far today. Gungahlin with a bit of work to do, though. Connor O'Byrne is there, but his jump is wide. Pedro Rolando's kick was good there before, by the way, so it's 14 points to 0, 20 minutes into this first half here at Phillip Oval. Hamlin puts it on the boot. Deep kick. Finds the turf. Awkward bounce for Fenner-Katau. Duffy's there to clean it up. Duffy's searching for the touchline. He won't get it, though. Oh, Willie, yes, it goes over. Rolando wants a quick restart, takes it. Sione's there. Sione steps back like he's a number 10. Driving himself towards the sideline. Doesn't quite get there because his offload was well timed. Rolando had another offload because he was heading in the same direction. And the ball came off Royals' hands, says the referee over the sideline. Royals fans here right next to us not happy, but
no, they're not.
I think perhaps that was the right call because it looked like it came off the hands of Michael Copsey and gone into touch. So Alex Small to restart for Gungahlin.
And what a beautiful day here it is today, isn't it?
It is spectacular. It's kind of weird to be in May and in a T-shirt at the same time.
Yeah, no, it's beautiful.
Plus 20 degrees. Tui Draki, one for the future. We'll have a chat about him in a moment as it comes out the back. Gungahlin not making much advantage on that little play there. So they'll go back to their forwards. An intercept from Woodward. The ball's gone down. Referee playing advantage on the knock-on. And it was a knock-on. So Gungahlin gets a chance to take a breather, and Royals looking for every single opportunity. That before the intercept was from Bury, now it's from Woodward. They're sniping at all parts. One player, I was talking to the injured skipper of Royals before the game, Ben Johnston. He was talking about Albert Ane. We were having a bit of a chat about what influence he's been on the club this year. He's sort of taken over from Silva, who has off to play for the Rebels this year in Melbourne. And both those players are having a big impact in terms of their culture. They bring a lot of passion to the club, and Albert Ane, he's contracted with the Brumbies but hasn't had a run yet this season, and so Royals are loving having him around. Keep an eye out for him in the number 1 jersey.
Yeah, it's great to have those boys step up and play.
Tuidraki catches it. Sorry, Louise. Tuidraki catches it. He's still going. He goes down now. Ward now. Gungahlin with the advantage. The ball's found the turf. Fenner-Katau couldn't get it because it was a loose pass from Lovell. But they get to play on because offside, says the referee.
I think Gungahlin made the most of that opportunity. They could see they were offside there and thought quick ball out to get that penalty.
And didn't quite make the touch. They did a Lealiafano, you might say. Anyone watching the game last night might understand that reference. He had a bit of trouble finding the touchline, Christian.
Yeah, I heard the crowd cheering at one point. And
a big tackle from the slight Jamie Bodman on the big Ben McGee. And the tackle causes a penalty. Royals get the turnover. You can hear the cheering in the background. A big tackle from the little man, Jamie Bodman.
He's not happy about it, that second rower. Oh, the crowd, they're getting into it today.
Ben McGee geeing them up. The man who was, his legs were taken out from underneath them. Like a big oak. The axe of Jamie Bodman.
Jamie, for his weight, he packs a punch, you know. He can really put on a good hit, and he hits low, you know. Takes them low. They can't run without their legs.
I was talking to one of the Royals managers, Chris Beath, before the game about Jamie Bodman filling in for Ben Johnston at 15, and I said, is there any concern about his size? And he said, no, he can tackle. Well, there you go. We saw it firsthand. A little bit of fire in this match now. Connor O'Byrne looking to steal the ball. And a penalty again for interfering at the ruck. The referee cracking down on that early. Colonel McInerney on the receiving end of that tackle. Mitch Connolly not happy about it. The skipper for Gungahlin in the 13 jersey. Pedro Rolando to find touch again, and Royals with another opportunity to use that fast back line to find the white line.
Yeah, it's probably very important for Gungahlin here to keep their cool and focus on what they're doing here at this set piece of the line out, rather than, you know, they're getting a bit fired up there at the breakdown.
No need to focus on the decisions from the referee, just time to play rugby. And they will have to muscle up here because Royals have proven themselves today to be quite the challenge when they're this close to the line. Bury gets it from McInerney. Hamlin out one and finds Swain. Hamlin inside ball for McInerney. They go short side again. Royals calming themselves down. Ane now with a short run. Controlling the breakdown, Royals. Gungahlin on their heels now. Rolando inside ball for Bodman. Rolando gives it off. That was Lefavre. Lefavre gets the closest anyone in this set of phases has. And a try. So we didn't see who got it down there, but there was a little scoot, it appeared. And Royals happy about that one. So a little bit of a anticlimactic finish to that play, but Royals playing sensible rugby.
Yeah, they are. And, if you've got possession, they had about 7 or 8 phases there, I think, where they were getting good, clean ball, getting 3 men to the breakdown, securing possession. And, if we can maintain that possession, then the tries will come. If we try to score a try off 1 or 2 phases, that's when things are going to fall apart. So I think it's just keep it simple, do the hard yards, and then the points will come from there.
Obviously, you have the added benefit then as Rolando takes the 2 points to extend the lead again. You have the added benefit there of wearing down your opposition if you get to go phase after phase, because that's just more defence they have to do. So Gungahlin now with the challenge ahead of them to ensure that they've got what they need in the tank to get themselves back into this game. The score, 21 points to 0 here at Phillip Oval. 27 minutes into the half. A quick moment to thank our sponsors, Club Lime and Hahn Superdry, also the sponsors of the Brumbies Aquas and Skins for making this possible. A good run there from Andy Barrell.
Yeah, the tackler didn't roll away there.
And so there was a penalty.
Plain advantage, I think. Yes.
Yes, they are. So they'll come back.
The difficult thing is sometimes at the breakdown it is hard to roll away when you've got about 3 people on top of you. But as the tackler, you do have to make the effort to roll away and get out of there.
Yeah. And that's a position I would imagine you find yourself in a lot, playing at hooker.
Yeah,
to get yourself out of there.
I love the physicality of rugby, and I really enjoy tackling. And yeah, often you're on the bottom of a ruck and got a number of people on top of you, and you've just got to really work hard to make that effort to roll away and get out of there.
Ben McGee collects the line out for Gungahlin.
Good defence there by Royals.
And there's a few players over the top and slowing things down. That was Dobson to take it away for Gungahlin. They're in their best attacking position they've been in all day. Nearly 30 minutes into this half, but a penalty against the grain, and Royals will get out of their defensive territory.
The crowd's very vocal today, aren't they?
They
They're
certainly
getting into
are.
it.
A bit of a grudge match.
Actually, I think this is the biggest crowd we've had out here this year, and I think it helps. We've had today out down at Phillip Oval for Royals, we've had 4th grade, 3rd grade, Colts, the women, seconds and 1st grade. So when we've got all teams playing out here, it's really encouraging because everybody comes out to watch all the grades.
Certainly, and I guess you have that trickle-down effect where there's lots of people who stick around afterwards and families. It's a lovely family atmosphere here at Club Rugby. I'm always impressed by it, not having grown up within it myself, but there's certainly some passion around, but there's never any animosity, and it's a good place to take your kids.
Yeah, no, it's fabulous, and I can stand back a little bit and my kids will go and play with the other kids and they throw the footy around or they pick grass and have some fun.
There you go, John Ident, the free daycare.
But they do come looking for money, if you noticed before my daughter was up here looking for money.
Oh, it was a costly kiss. It wasn't a free one. You just have the one daughter, or?
I've got Fletcher, who's 8, and Georgie, she's almost 7.
Okay,
so
yep.
Before I had my children, I had decided to probably not play rugby again, and after having them, one of the girls asked me to come back and play, and as soon as I sort of stepped back out onto that field, just being with the girls and that team camaraderie, it was something that I love so much, and you feel really part of a family within that team, and I've kept playing since now.
And that is it's been a big period since then for women's rugby, especially I guess in the time that the John Ident Cup has picked up in the last couple of years. The women's rugby has picked up with it. Due to the sevens being introduced to the Olympics and the Commonwealth Games, the growth of women's rugby in the past 2 years has really developed, and it's great for us at a 15s level because that's where we get most of them coming through the ranks of 15s into the sevens and developing their skills and hoping to get picked up within the sevens professional squad
and it's really helped our competition.
The backline for Gungahlin linking well now. They find themselves in some space. Sione's tackle misses. And Gungahlin blending well. Connor O'Byrne taking it up now for the Eagles. To Dobson. One of the two Dobson brothers playing in the front row today. Moving over from West this year. A pick and go from Ward. And he gives it off to another Dobson brother who finds O'Byrne on the right wing now. He takes himself to the ground so he doesn't go out. A big run from the winger in Andy Barrell takes it up for Gungahlin Eagles. Fenner-Katau now with a leap, but doesn't gain any ground. The referee was playing advantage, so we'll come back and Gungahlin will remain in possession. Another opportunity here with just 8 minutes left on the clock in this first half at Phillip Oval. The score 21 points to nil. Gungahlin certainly not out of it, but there's a few hands on heads and hands on knees, and they're blowing a bit because they've had to defend for most of this match. And now they get their second good opportunity for the game to put points on the board. Royals, it should be noted, have had impressive discipline here so far today. They haven't given away a penalty within range for Gungahlin to be able to take 3 points. So, being good at the breakdown, Royals.
Yeah, I think they're a lot more disciplined this week. In past weeks, they have been giving away a few penalties within that range. And today they're obviously focusing on, good clean play. A double knock on there, so Royals will get the loose head. We were talking before about the introduction of the women's sevens game, well, sevens in general, and especially what it's done for women's rugby on the international level. They're going to Rio this year. Yeah.
And have you had much to do with that playing group at all?
No, Shani Williams and Shannon Parry, who are both captaining the sevens women's side, they have played 15s before they played sevens.
Yep.
And last World Cup in 2014 in Paris, I was fortunate enough to play alongside them at the World Cup. And, they're great leaders and they're great mentors for women and girls playing rugby. And, it's just fabulous to see those girls leading the way for the sevens, and it's really exciting. I think they've got a real opportunity to win gold.
Look, and the way that they've been playing, the way that they got themselves qualified for Rio suggests that they're favourites for that gold medal. We'll wait and see come August. So, and also it's a great opportunity for, I guess, people in the rugby sphere to have that opportunity to walk out in that opening ceremony. You were talking about your connection with Shani Williams. That must be a massive point of excitement.
Definitely. When I was pregnant with my son Fletcher, I coached Shani. I was her first ever rugby coach.
Yeah.
And after about 2 games of rugby, I said she'll play for Australia. And
not sure where the ball was there, the Gungahlin Eagles, but they will get the loose head off a knock on there. So another opportunity for them. They need to capitalise here with just over 5 minutes left in the first half. The score's 21 points to nil. Royals with the upper hand, but in the last 5 to 10 minutes or so, Gungahlin have had the field position. They need to convert into points if they're to stay within this game and I guess take some momentum into the second half. Yeah, so sorry, you were saying about Shani.
Oh, yeah, Shani, she, the first time I saw her step out onto that rugby field, I knew she had what it took to play for Australia. And, she's a great leader of the game. And she's so passionate about women's rugby and the growth of women's rugby. And, I think it'll be quite an emotional moment for not only those girls, but their family and friends who have watched them through this journey to walk out in that opening ceremony in Rio and see that they're there and they're going to represent their country at an Olympic Games.
It's certainly going to be emotional, and for yourself, having coached her for the first time, do you get to follow over there, or will you be watching from the couch?
I'll be watching from the couch. I wish it had some perks in it being her first ever coach.
Yeah,
but
that's surely on the list of, in the top 10 at least of attendees.
I don't think she's getting paid enough. Perhaps if she was, she'd offer me a ticket over.
A little bit of a scrappy section of rugby there, and both teams, I guess, not playing with the connection that they would like to be playing, as Gungahlin now look to put a couple of faces together. Some question on whether that last ball was forward. From here it looked to be, but the referee said it was fine. Offside now, so Gungahlin again will take the kick into touch. Or will they? Trying to decide. It appears they will take the kick into touch and trying to get their first points on the board for this afternoon.
This will be their third line out in pretty much the same area of the field, so we'll see if they can capitalise on the possession and get some points on the board before we head into half-time.
Practice makes perfect. They third time's the charm. Another. We'll see what they can produce here. Ben McGee again wins the line out.
Throw.
A good throw from the hooker, says the hooker Louise Burrows, and a big run there from the Gungahlin Eagles winger in Andy Barrell. But he doesn't quite get to the chalk, so they'll pick and go Gungahlin in a good attacking position now. Royals with their first real test of their defence for the afternoon. Lovell with a cutout ball. It found Kotz, but Kotz left it behind. And the Royals faithful let him know about it. The referee was, however, playing advantage, so we'll come back to the centre of the field. A moment now for a conversation between skipper Rolando and the referee, possibly just cautioning on a repeat offence there.
Yeah, Gungahlin had the overlap there and he was playing advantage, but unfortunately he didn't catch the ball. Otherwise I think they would have been in there in the corner.
He certainly it was academic once the ball got to him. Kotz has been in the tries the last few weeks. We were out at Gungahlin Enclosed Oval to see Gungahlin smash East a couple of weekends ago. The first of their two clashes in a couple of weeks, and Kotz scored 4. Kotz a flyer when he gets some space. He's one-on-one now, and he does go short side. He just has to beat that one player stretch. He finds the line, and it will come back. O'Byrne. Royals have to muscle up quickly. Good tackle there. Diving low, and Eagles find their way underground to the white chalk for the first time this afternoon with only a few minutes left in this first half of rugby. 21 points to 5 with a kick to come. Our local rugby version of a clock does not include stoppage time. So we have about 30 seconds left in this half here, but I would expect that there's maybe a little bit of extra time on top of that, depending on how vigilant the referee has been in stopping his watch.
Gungahlin will be happy with that, going into half-time, getting some points on the board.
21 seems like a lot, 14 not so many, and the man with the responsibility to ensure that it's only 2 converted tries is Luke Duffy now, lining up the kick. Oh, it's just snuck past the left side of the upright. So the score remains 21 points to 5. Couple minutes left in his first half here at Phillip Oval. The Club Lime match of the round. Of course, the player of the match wins a Club Lime 3-month sponsorship, platinum sponsorship, I should say, membership with Club Lime, and a couple of little goodies in a bag that they get as well at training during the week. So I'll be asking you later on, Louise, who you think the man of the match is, but I reckon it's way too early to call at the moment. There's plenty of twists and turns left in this game as we near half-time. A kick-off from Rolando is a good one, but Gungahlin Eagles are up to the task despite the pressure, and they take possession through Lovell. Lovell dummies, goes himself. Held up for quite a while, and he didn't fall very nicely there, Lovell, towards Royals line, but does well to get the ball back out. Andy Barrell now. with another hit up today. The winger taking a few runs up to the line. He'll be adding to the metres. Ash Vest gives it to Bodman. Bodman puts it high in the air. Underneath it is O'Byrne, but O'Byrne couldn't gather it, and Vest is there to clean up for Royals. The ball's been overturned though. And we come back for the knock-on. But we won't, because it's half-time. That's about right. So we had that 1 minute 50 of extra time here at Phillip Oval. The Club Line match of the round. With me is Louise Burrows, and we'll be with you for the second half here in just a few minutes. If you'd like to keep it tuned in while you're doing the dishes on a Saturday afternoon, or what else might you be doing? I don't know, creating Mother's Day gifts for Mum?
Could be, or the mums out there maybe doing some washing up.
Well, welcome back to Phillip Oval as Royals prepare to kick off for this second half of rugby. They lead 21 points to 7. And with me is former Wallaroo Louise Burrows and current Brumby Tom Staniforth. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me for this second half. We prepare to kick off here. Pedro Rolando to take the kick for Royals. Royals in a strong position, but a lot of work to do in this second half. Louise,
Where's the referee? I think we're.
That's the big question.
I think we're waiting on the ref. Matty Heffernan, the referee, and we used to be in the Brumbies Academy back in.
Is that right?
1999, 2000.
Oh, wow.
We were both, fellow hookers back in the Brumbies Academy together.
How about that? Louise, you won't like this, but I think I was in year 5.
Yes, I think here he is. In the ACT squad, I'm the oldest, and I've got some girls in the team that are 18, and I'm 38. So yes, got a few years on them.
As we do finally get the kickoff underway, the referee back onto the field here. Inside ball back to Ane. Ane tiptoeing down the sideline, gets himself to the ground, and they'll reset. As I mentioned just a moment ago, Louise is not the only one joining us as the ball tried to find the foot of Pedro Rolando, but the foot of Pedro Rolando wasn't there. It hit the turf.
Is it difficult for you, Tommy, watching the game and not being out there with the boys?
Yeah, it's pretty difficult. Played a lot of footy with most of these guys growing up through school, but I really support the guys and really enjoy coming down to watch them play.
You played quite a few minutes for the Brumbies last night, and how are you feeling now? Have you recovered well? Is this part of the process?
Yeah, recovered well. It's a pretty good system they got out there. A few ice bars and hot bars and whatnot, and it's always part of the recovery, I guess, to come down and watch the boys run around.
You mentioned you grew up playing with a lot of these boys. Who in particular?
Played a fair bit with Joel Penders.
Oh yeah, in the front row.
In the front row, and Michael Andrew Copsey and Brendan Woodward.
A couple of boys there you would have spent a bit of time behind.
Yeah,
in the second row.
and big Dean Paragali, who's playing a pretty good match today. So probably 4 or 5 in the forward pack.
Yep.
It's been it's been good.
Long time.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. And what have you guys heard about this Gungahlin side so far this year? There's been a bit of talk around them as potential replacement for West in that top four. And, obviously it's a long season to go yet, but they're looking quite strong. Today they've got a lot of work to do to get up against Royals, but they've had wins over Queanbeyan, for instance.
Mate, I think the Eagles are going to be a very strong team this year and in future years. I think last year was a bit of a rebuilding year for them with quite a few young players. I think their average age was maybe 22 or even 21 in their first grade team. So I think they got some pretty handy players. Jake Helgeson, number 7, Con O'Brien, number 4, and they've just recruited the Dobsons. So they've obviously got a bit more experience in the pack now, and you obviously got the old fella Ben McGee out there as well,
who's copying a bit from the Royals faithful today as Royals pounce on a loose ball. Harry Bury had one-on-one, but he couldn't get past them. Connell McInerney not too happy about something, but Steve Sione decides to keep playing rugby instead. He's taken it up within 10 metres of the line. They're playing advantage now, Royals. Michael Copsey with that run, and they'll come back for the penalty. Tom, have you got your mum a Mother's Day present yet?
Mate, always. big mummy's boy at heart. Got to get her a present. Had it hiding in my room for a couple of weeks.
As we are distracted for a moment, but in that moment, Brent Hamlin found a way over the white chalk. And Royals extend their lead, 26 points to 5 here at Phillip Oval. Looking an impressive outfit today, Royals. There is a player down and back play. I believe that's Steve Sione. Hopefully he's okay. We'll get some news on that for you in a second. But Royals extending their lead. Hamlin, a sneaky halfback, isn't he?
Yeah, very good, Hamlin. He reads the game extremely well, and him and Pedro together provide quite the sparking combination. And you just got to run after him and hope they pass you the ball for a try.
You wouldn't agree with that, though, Louise. You wouldn't. You scored all your points yourself. It wasn't the halfbacks that did your work.
Oh, the tries that I've scored, there haven't been many over the most recent years. So when I get my opportunity to cross that line, I definitely celebrate.
Pedro Rolando's kick is good, so he adds another 2 points. Hasn't missed one today, Pedro. Scores 28 points to 5. And not a good start to the second half from Gungahlin. 5 minutes into it. It was a beautiful sunny day earlier on. We've got a bit of cloud coming over now to cool things off for the players. There'll be a bit of relief because it was almost hot before. Jamie Cotts with a massive jump.
Yeah, you must go up for those balls. We just assumed it was going to go out then, Royals, and you must try to take those balls when they're high like that.
Need to contest, that's for sure. Dobson now over the top, finding Fenneca-Tau. Fenneca-Tau's offload hit laces, went forward. Bodman now on the recoil for Royals. Royals finding a way down the left wing now through Ross. Ross hits 2 big forwards.
And he jumps straight back up again.
Straight back up, the young fella. Bury on the boot. High kick from the number 12. Searching for Duffy now. Duffy sends it wide to Cotts again. Cotts goes down, inside ball, tried to flick it off, but the assistant referee says he went out. Well, Tom Staniforth, Brumbies lock, thank you for joining us.
No worries, anytime.
And we better let you get back to your spectating. I think your work is done here. I appreciate you coming over to the commentary booth, we call it. The soundproof booth.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Anytime. Got to get back over and hear some of this fantastic banter from the Royals boys.
Absolutely. We'll catch you later. Connolly now for Gungahlin. Lovell's ball is no good, and McGee fumbles it on the grass. The referee says it was fine, though. Cotts now, 1-on-1. with vest went back onto the inside, and it was Woodward who was there, took his legs and was able to shut down that little play. They go open side. Fennica-Tau. That's fun to say.
It just rolls off your tongue.
Doesn't it? Lovell back to Duffy. Duffy in some space now. Finds Tui Draki. Tui Draki over the line for Gungahlin, and they hit back within a few minutes of Royals' first try of the second half. Well, an impressive display there from Gungahlin, linking a couple of plays there. On the second phase, they crossed the line, and Gungahlin back in the mix of it. They'll need this conversion here with the score at 28 points to 10. And Royals' defensive structures just breaking down a little bit there. As Luke Duffy prepares to take the kick, we've had another guest sneak up to have a bit of a chat with us. Arguably a little bit more dignified, but... Oh, wait, I've just seen his hair. Maybe not. It's like a big sun up there in the background. We've got Ben Johnston with us. Ben, thanks so much for coming and spending some time as Luke Duffy prepares to take this kick from Gungahlin. We'll let him line it up first. It's curling. Oh, but doesn't sneak on the inside. Gungahlin remain at 10 points to Royals 28. Louise, we've been spoilt today. A couple of guests coming up to chat with us. Ben Johnson, the skipper for Royals, out injured today. What happened, mate?
Just doing a bit of kicking practice at training a couple of weeks back, and just a slight strain on the groin, but it should be good to go by next week.
The boys holding up well out there, and your replacement's having a bit of a stellar match in Jamie Bodman in the back there, taking down some big men in defensive structures as well.
Yeah, mate, he's a quality player and definitely one to watch for the year. Might be struggling to get a spot back next week, actually.
Don't count yourself out. Mate, so you will be back next week. You've just alluded to the injury is just a precaution staying out this week?
Yeah, I was pretty close to playing today, but just after speaking to the physios, I thought it would be best to just have another full week of training under my belt before we pushed it to come back. Still quite early in the season, so I guess looking ahead, we sort of look after it for that.
Now, Gungahlin have turned up today. You guys are challenging for third spot on the ladder. Gungahlin looking at an impressive team this year as they spread the ball wide, finding their number 11 in Andy Barrell. And potentially a challenger. This was always a game that was going to be a tough one for you, especially coming off a scrappy match last week. Are you impressed with how the boys are turning up today?
Yeah, the boys have really turned up today to play, and I think we had a really good first 40 minutes. We put 3 tries on there, and then Brent crossing in the second half early there. Just a little bit disappointing to let them sort of hit straight back there, but
Sorry, Ben, as Jamie Cotts finds some space, and in space we know that he can run. He's just slipped out, says the assistant referee, though. A quick line out from Jamie Bodman gets Steve Sione to put the burners on. He hits the line hard, and Royals struggling to get back, but they'll have to. A penalty against the grain, so Gungahlin with another opportunity to close this margin again. Yeah, you were saying before I had to interrupt you there, Ben, that the structures seem to be working a bit better this week as opposed to against Uni North last week, where it was a little bit scrappy.
Yeah, I think our D's been pretty good this year so far, but our attack sort of hasn't quite gelled yet. And we've had a few players in our back line sort of chopping and changing, which may have something to do with that. But no, the boys, credit to the boys, they're going really well today.
Well, Ben, really great to have you up here, and thanks so much for taking some time out of your spectator day to come and have a chat with us.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Cheers. Oh, and a drop ball there eases the pressure valve, and you can hear it hissing as the Royals faithful up here in the grandstand breathe a sigh of relief. Gungahlin on the charge here at Phillip Oval, trying to close this margin of 18 points. Louise, some scrambling defence there from your side.
Yeah, you know, putting the pressure on Gungahlin there, and I think if Gungahlin can hold on to the ball a little bit more and put Royals under a bit more pressure, then they'll be in this game. I think Royals are working hard defensively, and you know, perhaps that is putting Gungahlin under the pressure, and you know, that's when mistakes are happening.
One of the thing that Ben Johnston, the skipper of Royals, injured skipper of Royals, was just talking about there when he came up to have a chat was about how the attacking methods of Royals haven't been really gelling so far this year. We've seen it come together today, though. Sam Ross on the end of a couple of fantastic backline plays.
Yeah, I think they've supported each other really well today, and you know, I think it's been hard watching over the last few weeks. Just the combinations have been a little bit different with the boys, but I think you know, they're really coming together today, and with that support, you know, they've been able to score some good tries.
The backline of Gungahlon's not something to sniff at as well. They've got some firepower out there. We saw Jamie Kotz get away there, so let's hope that Gungahlin are able to put a couple of phases together as Royals fire up on the left wing now, heading to the northern end of the ground here at Phillip Oval. A little bit of a jig and a step from Sam Ross. Gets shut down. Rolando acting half to Bodman. Duffy, full stride, takes the ball. The fullback having a good game for Gungahlin. Not many mistakes from the fullback today. Jamie Bodman in there getting a little bit niggly. And a bit of a pest, just slowing down the breakdown for Royals. Some impressive work there and allowing them to reset their defensive line. Gungahlin taking it up to the advantage line. Pat Tuidraki with the ball now.
Yeah, Royals are pushing up really well defensively and, you know, cutting down Gungahlin's options. Oh.
An intercept from the man Jason Swain, who had a stellar grand final last year for Royals. And he goes in for another try this afternoon here at Phillip Oval. Jason Swain.
He made sure of that one. The one earlier he couldn't quite get his hands onto, but that one he did.
That's very true. In the first half he had a mitt on one that just fell out of his reach. This one into the breadbasket. And he ran about 60 metres to cross the try line. And Royals in for another try this afternoon. 33 points to 10 with a kick to come.
Yeah, that wouldn't be the start that Gungahlin would have been looking for. I think they would have liked to have gotten some more points on the board before Royals scored again. So I think Gungahlin will be really looking to give it to Royals on this kickoff.
Certainly after the last couple of phases and with that Jamie Kotz breakaway down the left-hand side, Gungahlin will be disappointed that they let the pressure off there and let Royals take a hit back and maintain this lead. Pedro Rolando hasn't missed one all day today. Jason Swain gets a bit of a clap from the Royals grandstand.
He's got a bit of a fan club in the stands, I think.
Rolando. And the first one this afternoon that goes wide for Pedro Rolando. So the score remains 33 points to 10. Royals looking the goods this afternoon. Gungahlin with a lot of work to do this afternoon to get themselves back in the match. But we have seen some glimmers of hope from them. Certainly the back line, when it gels and they don't knock on, works well. The assistant referee's got his flag up and says that it was a blue boot that went out. Gungahlin now. I was mentioning earlier in the first half there, Louise, about a young man by the name of Pat Tuidraki, who's playing in the number 12 jersey today for Gungahlin. As we see Ben McGee win the line out. A good line out again from Gungahlin. And go back through hands, Lovell crosses to Duffy, and Duffy hits his winger in barrel. Barrel gets barreled himself. McGee now, hit hard by Ane. Oh, and a drop ball there, but was playing advantage. O'Byrne.
Yeah, that was a good
Couldn't hold on to that one.
Sam Ross out here on the wing on his opposition 11. So Andy Barrel, that was a good hit by him into Barrel.
Sam Ross having a massive game. The little boys having a big game today. Jamie Bodman, probably the lowest fat percentage of any of the players on the ground, making a massive hit on the big Ben McGee earlier today. A short line out from Gingalan finds Fenner-Katau, who takes an age to get to the turf. A good run from Fenner-Katau. O'Byrne with the pick and go. Gingalan driving well, playing clever rugby at the moment, just holding possession. You can feel something building out to the left here. Will they go again? They do. Held up this time is McGee. The ball comes out, still in Gingalan possession though. They do well to clean that up. It's been the character of Gingalan's play today. A bit scrappy play. Lovell wanted to pass it inside to Barrel, but they timed the run wrong. So they'll have to reset again. McGee takes the forward run. Ward back to the inside to Lovell, who's hit hard from the Royals defence. Ward's ball is kicked out the back, but referee was playing advantage. Reaches for his pocket and a yellow card. The first of the day. Given on this occasion to Anthony Lefevre.
I'm not sure if he's quite sure what he's been given the yellow card for there. I'm not sure either. I couldn't quite see.
It appeared that he wasn't too happy about it. Although it's rare that you are. It's rare that you make a mistake with the intention of making a mistake. So Lefevre will spend 10 minutes on the ground, off the ground, I should say, and Royals having to muscle up with 14 men on the field. An opportunity now for Gingalan to close this gap again. They're still well within the in the game. Nearly 20 minutes into this second half, and 23 points the difference. Watch out for this back line, very fast back line. You've got Luke Duffy at the back here in the stagger. Pat Tuidraki in number 12 will feed off Lovell. We'll see if he runs a dummy play like he has a number of times today. It comes out the back. Fenner-Katau with a flick pass. Lovell runs himself. They don't get time to spread it wide. Good defence from Royals. Ward has to dig for the ball. And it is penalised against the grain, not releasing the ball, says the referee.
The Royals' defence is strong today, isn't
absolutely.
it?
With
shutting them down.
14 men on the field. They rushed up nice and strong, and that was Steve Sione who did all the hard work at the breakdown. He's had a big game this afternoon. And Gingalan missing another opportunity to get themselves back in this game. Really their own worst enemies at times this afternoon. If they are able in this last 20 minutes of the game to get the 1%ers together, then we'll certainly see a tight match, tight finish here. Connor McInerney to restart for Royals as Gingalan win the line out. Fenner-Katau running up himself, head on with his opposite number, Steve Sione. Ward to Lovell. Lovell, short pass to Helgeson. Lovell again running it up himself, getting himself well involved in the play there. The experienced James Lovell. Ward throws it back to Dobson and the pass is no good. Dobson unable to make up for the knee-high pass and the knock-on will be played. Again, frustrating play if you're on the Gingalan side of things. In an attacking position, an opportunity to put more points on the board and they let it go.
Yeah, I think they'll be getting a little bit frustrated out there with each other and, you know, it'll be really good for them to just keep things simple and, you know, take that ball forward, retain possession and hopefully, you know, they can string a few good plays together and really contest this game.
23 points the difference, 20 minutes left in the game. We may see some changes soon. We haven't seen one yet so far this afternoon. The sun, as I mentioned before, has gone, so a little bit of relief for the players. It was a warm afternoon here in Canberra. Steve Sione, good tackle from Ward on the big man. Impressive clearing out work there by Royals, but Gungahlin up to the task. Tuidraki with an inside step. He's still going. He's got an inside ball, and the man is Mitch Connolly in his 100th game for Gungahlin this afternoon. Crosses the line under the post. Good support run there from Connolly, and Pat Tuidraki really the man at the moment. Inside step, keeping himself upright, searching for the support player, and Connolly with the experience, 100 games today, is there to cross the line. Gungahlin hit back, and the frustration ends.
Yeah, they'll be happy with that. And that was great support play. You know, if we're supporting each other out there on the field, then, you know, you can get good ball and score tries.
That's right. And I think Connolly is one of the, as we mentioned, more experienced players out there, and that looked like was potentially a set piece. I can't say for sure. I don't spend time around the Gungahlin training field, but Connolly was there, and Tuidraki knew he was there, so good voice from Connolly to find that line, run it hard, and Gungahlin shut the gap by a further 7 points. 33-17 here this afternoon at Phillip Oval, with about 17 minutes to go. Thank you for joining us on our coverage this afternoon. It's much appreciated. You can have your say at hashtag JID16 or go onto the Brumbies Facebook page. We'll see your comments there. Gungahlin looking the goods now. If they get a few players together, we may have an interesting finish. Gungahlin have had all the ball for the last 8 minutes or so. And another intercept from Jason Swain. Jason Swain's ball went back, and Harry Bury couldn't keep his feet, but if he had have, I dare say it would have been a foot race to the line. The ball will come back. We'll wait for the decision from the referee, but Jason Swain again lurking. Like a shark, you get your feed if you're in the right place. He knows where the fish are. Jason Swain had one intercept last half that went down, and then a second one this half that went all the way. So he was looking for the third. It didn't happen. But keep an eye out for him when Gungahlin are defending, or in their own half at least. I was mentioning Pat Tuidraki, the number 12 for Gungahlin, Louise. He's actually a young player who's moved to Canberra, saw an opportunity with Gungahlin to work his way into the Brumbies squad. That's his ultimate goal. He actually turned down an opportunity to try out for the Blues so he could come here. There he is now. Tuidraki gives it off on the outside. Running down the wing is Barrel. And a good tackle again from Bodman in cover of defence. He's been excellent today out the back. Jamie Bodman filling in for Ben Johnston. Shut down there. Fenner-Katau offside, says the referee. Andy Barrel getting a breakaway there off the back of the man we were just talking about in Pat Tuidraki, finding some space. Tuidraki had an opportunity he's an Auckland boy. He also spent the first 7 years of his life in Japan, so he can speak Japanese, Fijian and English.
Wow, that's impressive.
From Auckland. He's a bit eclectic, young Pat Tuidraki, and definitely I got the opportunity to interview him for Brumbies TV during the week, and he'll be on Brumbies TV in the coming weeks, and he's got some interesting things to say about life in general. His dad actually, Pat Tuidraki Sr., played for Japan in the 1999 World Cup. I believe.
Wow, that's great. And how old is he?
He's 20.
Okay, he's very young.
Yeah. So turning down an opportunity to try out for Auckland Blues. He loves it here in Canberra. And Gungahlin loving this opportunity. Rolling more a la Brumbies. Gets Fenner-Katau over the line. Wow. Impressive structure from the Gungahlin forward pack. And Royals not up to the task. They are down one man at the moment, one forward. Anthony Lefavre giving 10 minutes about 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, they're really making the most of that one man down, Gungahlin, and, to score the last 2 tries. And they're actually seem to be lifting a bit, looking out there at them. They're carrying themselves a bit better and looking more positive about the park.
It is very noticeable, isn't it? You can see a few hands on hips over in the Royals camp, and that's the nature of the game. The momentum shift is palpable. You can feel it when it happens. Luke Duffy has been stripped of the kicking duties, and the 100 gamer, Mitch Connolly, to take it this time. The kick is wide, so the score remains 33 to 23. 22, my apologies. 33 to 22. $11 points the difference, 2 converted tries in it. Dare I say it, we have game on with 12 minutes to go here.
This is where, as a Royal supporter, I start to get a little bit nervous.
I noticed you were getting a little bit quiet there.
Yeah.
Concerned look on your face. Fenner-Katau with a big run into the chest of Dean Paragelli. And Paragelli does well to hold him high, so the Royals boys can get an opportunity to hold it. A good ruck there from Royals. And they get the turnover, so an opportunity to hit back straight away. Ben Johnston, before the game, I was having a chat to him, I mentioned before, Louise. He said there's been a fantastic turnout at training this week. You've been amongst that, I would imagine?
Yeah, for the girls and the guys, it's a great atmosphere at training when we've got good numbers and, not too many injuries, and everybody's able to join in the sessions. And, when you've got a full pack working on set pieces and the backline working on what they're going to do during the game on the weekend, it means that you can put everything together on the weekend and, hopefully those set pieces can set the backs up to work their magic.
Absolutely. Twisting the scrum, so we'll have another feed. You are back, as you mentioned, from injury next week for ACT. When do we get to see you in Royals colours again?
We've got a bye next week for Royals, and then the following week we're playing Uni North. So hopefully be back for that game. I'm really looking forward to getting out there with my team. We've recruited well in the off-season and, kept a lot of our players from last year as premiers of the women's competition, and I'm really looking forward to how we go this year and just developing the girls even further from last year. And, it's really exciting to have such great numbers at training and today at the game.
At risk of getting penalised for wheeling the scrum around again, Argan Garland, but the referee appears to be set to reset. And that's, I guess, a testament to the effort from Royals women's side last year. You won the premiership, and that doesn't happen overnight. That's a long season to get into that position.
Yeah, it is, and grand finals don't come around every day, and it's a different contest on grand final day, and the game could be anyone's for the takings. And we played Tuggeranong Vikings, and they're a tough team, and they really put it to us. And when that final whistle went, I was so relieved because we were physically exhausted.
Yeah. A good ball from Sione to Pedro. Pedro under pressure from good defence. Hamlin now back on the inside. Finds Paragelli. Ball hasn't come free yet. Gungahlin protesting. We're playing advantage now for... And a little bit frustrated, Chris Coyle got in the side there and gave them the penalty. Pedro Rolando now to find touch for Royals, and with 15 men back on the field now, Anthony Lefevre is back from his 10 minutes in the sin bin.
A short line out by the look of it for Royals.
And the long line out hits the turf. Lovell still going. Passes it one out. Now it's in the hands of Kotz, the speedster. Kotz just gets past his man, and Bodman again is there in cover defence. Times his tackle beautifully. Gungahlin with possession. Royals spoiling another opportunity. The score remains 33-22 though. They have the advantage. And Connolly gets past the advantage line using Ben McGee as an offload. Ben McGee still going. The ball's back to Duffy through hands. Dobson puts it down. Bury puts it on his foot. Offside, says the referee.
Yeah, it's really important to win your set pieces. You know, we had that line out down on the 5, and now look where Gungahlin are.
Yes.
You know, they're in our half, and, you know, I'm sure they're going to try to make the most of this opportunity of having possession.
Yes. So, as you were just saying before, Louise, it's important to win your set pieces. Now an opportunity for Gungahlin to prove that they can win their line out. And if they do, there may be more points on offer. 11 points the difference with just 7 minutes to go here at Phillip Oval in this club line match of the round. It's been a seesawing event.
Yeah, I think they've called time off because they're looking for a ball, perhaps, are they? I'm not quite sure there.
A bit of a long kick. There is a fence there that you can't get out of too easily. The ball comes across from the other side of the field now.
I think Gungahlin probably are enjoying this opportunity to get together and have a quick chat about what they're going to do off this set piece.
Wouldn't be upset about the time to have a breather too late in the match. We haven't seen any subs yet.
It looks like Eddie Powell might be coming on in number 20 jersey.
For Royals?
Yes.
With only about 6 or 7 minutes to go here.
I think for Brendan Woodward, he must be, I think with his knee taped up and limping off, he looks like, and he's had a great game today, Brendan Woodward.
Absolutely, and we haven't spoken much about him, but we have noticed that his work at the breakdown. Also, he's been tough in defence. Ben McGee again winning the line out. Fenneca-Tau again taking it off him. The ball came loose. Looks like it was an offload though. Gungahlin attacking. McGee goes himself. McGee had a big game as well. He's also copped a bit of lip here from Royals grandstand.
Oh, we can't afford to be
Sione,
giving away penalties right in front of the sticks there.
Right in front of the sticks. So you can hear the frustration.
Another yellow card.
A professional foul, says the referee. Another 14 men period, the next 10 minutes. Ben McGee wanted to take the quick tap. The referee was still discussing the yellow card with Steve Sione. That's a big blow for Royals at this part of the game. 11 points the difference. Steve Sione's been a massive player for Royals this afternoon. Been in everything, I feel like.
Yeah, and this could open it up for Fenneca-Tau to do some big runs without our Steve Sione out there on him defensively.
Yeah, he has been able to muscle up and stop the Fenneca-Tau train a couple of times. Gungahlin, 11 points the difference. Only 5 minutes left in this game. Here at Phillip Oval, club line match of the round. Royals up against Gungahlin. Gungahlin running to the southern end. Not a breath of wind here. We've had some attacking rugby. We've had some impressive defensive displays. And now we get an opportunity to see Gungahlin clean up the ball again. Oh. Sloppy mistake. But we're going to come back for the advantage. Offside, said the referee. Royals getting a little bit too excited there.
It's really important for Royals to stay composed here.
A tap and go. Ray Dobson gets close to the line for Gungahlin. Mitch Ward now tries to dive over the ruck. Perhaps not enough height. Looked like there was another snatch and go. Acting half now, because Ward was at the bottom of that ruck. We're playing tight, close rugby at the moment. Only 14 men on the field. Steve Sione being sent off for a professional foul only moments ago for Royals. Sent off for 10 minutes. Ward gives it to Lovell. Lovell gives it to Connolly. Connolly to Cots, and Cots drops it. Under pressure, Jamie Bodman gives his boys a clap there. Jamie Bodman again amongst the defensive display. Very impressive from him.
Anxious and then excited.
I can feel it here. I can feel you getting off your seat. You can stand up if you like. I think the cords will reach.
Oh, it's yeah. I mean, it's great to have a close game. You know, that's what the spectators at home, you know, being fortunate enough to watch the John Ident Cup live streamed at home. You know, It's fabulous, and I'm sure they're enjoying a close game. But yeah, we've sort of gone a bit quiet in the stands at the moment.
Everyone holding their breath up here. We're sitting on the Royals half of the grandstand. Gungahlin in the distance over the right side, a little bit louder as Louise, your young daughter, comes to show you a couple of balloons.
Yes,
nice.
Lucky, aren't I? Oh, and I've been asked to hold the balloons.
Okay. She's going to get some more. They suit you.
Thanks. I popped one earlier.
Oh.
And, it was a bit of a disaster. There were tears.
You should have known, Mummy.
I think I used to cry when I popped a balloon when I was younger. Lucky I don't cry when I get tackled now.
I'd love to be able to admit that I didn't, but I can't remember. Maybe if it had a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle on it or something. By my watch, only 3 minutes left in this game here at Phillip Oval. Royals have been defending for the last 5. The score's 33-20. As Hamlin feeds the scrum. This scrum formed off the back of a drop ball from Jamie Cots. The end of an attacking play. They got oh so close to Gungahlin and will go back to a line out. Not many metres there from Pedro Rolando.
About we're on the 5, I think, there.
So another set piece opportunity for Gungahlin. Their backline sets again. That's where they've had a lot of their success this afternoon, is throwing it through the hands. A good afternoon for that. The ball goes up and it's a good line out from Gungahlin. They appear to be going short side and they set the maul again. The maul, they scored their last try off a rolling maul. And Fennica Tau was at the back of it. They crossed again through their rolling maul. With 14 men on the field, Royals unable to prevent another 5-pointer. And the gap is closed to within a converted try. Gungahlin, impressive play there. This is not something that we see executed at this level all the time. Often teams are able to break down the rolling maul. This afternoon, Gungahlin have used it twice to score 5-pointers.
Yeah, their lineouts in this half have been really impressive, actually. And, they're making the most of their opportunities at the moment.
Mitch Connolly. He is celebrating his 100th game today, but not really celebrating. He's about to take the kick now. They've delayed the celebrations for a couple of weeks when Gungahlin are back at home. The kick looks good from where we are. Looks like the referees say that it missed. Hooked it to the left.
Oh, it's a shame he couldn't have had a home game for his 100th
Yeah.
game. I had a home game for my 200th game here last year, and it was such a special occasion, and just to be able to play at home and have my family and friends come out to help me celebrate, and, you know, for me to be able to have that opportunity to play with my teammates in my 200th game. We didn't win that day, but as I said to them after the game, this isn't the one that counts, it's the big GF, and thankfully we came away with the win that day.
And what a season for you, Louise, to be able to come away with a grand final and 200 games in the one season.
Yeah, it was fabulous, and
And that's the end. He's called time on the game. I thought it was getting closer. We had 43 minutes on our clock here. We don't have stoppage.
That's a relief.
And a relief for all the Royals players. You can hear them in the background. It's sort of a bit of a reserved applause because Gungahlin came steamrolling back through their maul. It's 2 tries in the last 15 minutes off the back of their maul. The final score 33-27. Royals looked like they may have run away with the game there. They may have been able to run away with the game there in the second half after an impressive first half display. At one point, they'd kept Gungahlin scoreless, 21 points to 0. And in the end, they held on. They had enough on the board as Gungahlin came charging home. They won't be too unhappy with that loss, I would imagine, showing that they can go the full 80 minutes. And if I'm correct, I may not be correct, but I believe that Gungahlin didn't make one change in that game. I think that the only change was made on the Royals side, but I could be wrong. We didn't see anyone change hands, so that was an impressive display today. Louise Burrows, it has been an absolute pleasure. Before we go, though, I'll ask you to pick your man of the match.
Oh, now you've got me. You did say you were going to ask me that, didn't you?
You had your homework.
Oh, I think Paragali, Dean Paragali had a great game, and, you know, being back up in first grade, he's, you know, he had a really good game at the breakdown, and I think that set us up in that first half to get good clean ball to the backs.
Yep. It was impressive from him, clearing out the breakdown at times. That was where the challenge was, and it was something you said before the start of the game, Louise, was where Royals had been working on, and their ability to get clean ball out of there enabled their impressive halves combination of Hamlin and Rolando to feed their impressive backline, and that's where it all started. Towards the end of the game, we had a bit of a tense finish, and hopefully you can go and relax now.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me, and I've really enjoyed calling the game today, and, you know, it's even better when my team gets up with the win.
Well, it has been an absolute pleasure, and happy Mother's Day to you and all mums out there for tomorrow.
Thank you. Happy Mother's Day to my mum as well.